Go ahead, skin it. Skin that smoke wagon and see what happens.
Welcome to Smoke Wagon with your hosts, Tin Killer Cole and Ox Ford.
Well, howdy, folks. Welcome to Smoke Wagon Radio. My name is Tin Killer Cole. That right over there is my good buddy, Ox Ford. Ox, how you doing, buddy?
I'm all right, Kimasabi. How you doing, buddy?
I'm all right. I'm all right. I got a little tooth thing going on. I'm taking some penicillin. But I'm okay. Yeah. My gums are swollen. I don't know what. I think I have like an abscessed tooth. It's bothering me again. I know. I might have talked about this in another one, but it's bothering me again. So it's pissing me off.
Well, they wanted you to do a root canal.
Yeah, they wanted me. Well, I went in an emergency dental appointment about a week or two ago, and they like drilled some holes in my teeth, and they put a filling in there, and then she was like, "All right, come back in 7 days." We set a date, about a week, and we'll give you a root canal. So I left. And I took my penicillin that she actually, it's amoxicillin right here, that she prescribed me. And the swelling went down and my tooth stopped hurting. And I was like, what the fuck am I going to go get a root canal for? Everything's fine now. Everything's fine. And plus my dental insurance only pays for half of it anyway. And it's like $2,000. So what am I going to volunteer to go in there and spend $1,000 getting a root canal on a tooth that does not hurt anymore? No, it's not going to happen.
Do you have like a crazy deductible or what?
No, I don't, man. I don't know. I just know that the surgery, or I don't know if it's considered a surgery, a freaking root canal, but the root canal costs like $2,000, and my insurance pays for one half of that, 50% of it. So right. I would end up paying like $1,000, and my tooth stopped hurting. So I was like, man, I'm free. I'm in the clear. I'm good to go. My tooth is swell, and then I wake up yesterday morning, bam, there it is. Sometimes I feel like I wonder if she like rigged it that way. She was like, I'm gonna do the work on the tooth, but just enough so that if he misses his appointment 2 days later, bam, it's gonna hit him again, and he's gonna be like, "Oh, I should have gone and gotten my root canal," but no.
Do you think that mechanics do the same thing with cars to try to get people to come back in?
I would assume so. Wouldn't you?
Like they don't just fix it all the way. They just do it just enough for it to last a couple months until you have to come back in.
When I was a kid, I had this crazy conspiracy theory that you know how all hair cutting places sell shampoo?
Get the fuck out of here! As you're saying that, dude, I'm thinking in my head, my grandfather had to say, hold on, stop for a minute.
Okay.
This is hilarious because I want to see if you're going the same fucking... My grandpop used to go like this. He used to go... He's very, very racist. He would go, never let a fucking Dago shave your head all the way down. He's like, that's an old dirty Dago trick. Saying that if they shaved it too close, that it grows back too fast. Uh-huh. Right? This was his thing. This is what he was saying. Like, he's like, yeah, it's an old trick for them to get you to come in quicker. And I'm like, what sense does that make? It would take longer for you to come back.
Yeah, right.
You dumb fuck. And this is the guy that I have tattooed on my hand. that grandpa.
Yeah. Proud grandson. I
love my grandfather. He's crazy, but it's hilarious that I'm thinking about a haircut story that I was going to say after yours, and he said so. Obviously, it's not the same. Watching your facial expression or hearing.
Well, my childhood theory was a little different. I had this theory that maybe the shampoo makers, the companies who made shampoo, and then the haircutting companies were in cahoots with one another, and what they did was they sold you this shampoo that made your hair grow ridiculously fast. So like they would just they were creating this hair monopoly. and then barbershops. I don't know. It's a very stupid thing to think, but I was a child, so.
No, that's hilarious. That's funny. No, but like, wow, I wish that were the case, man. Sometimes I wish my hair would grow fast. My grandfather thought that if they use a straight razor, like when they did a straight razor and you get like super fucking close. Like if they're this one old Italian barber I would go to, his name was Tony. And I went to two barbers when I lived in Collingdale. I went to Bill, who he lived directly across the street from Buckaroo Bryan, and his barbershop was on a porch, on the porch of a house. Mm-hmm. It was an enclosed porch, but he owned the house, but he rented the house out and still had his business on the porch, and it was grandfathered in, meaning that like you couldn't get zoned to run a business there anymore. Like you couldn't do it, but he still had it because like his father and I think his grandfather maybe, I don't think it was literal grandfathered in, but I think it's because his father ran the business and then, he took over. Right. But it's, considered the grandfather clause. So Bill ran that, and I would go to him, and I would go to this Italian guy, Tony. And Tony always uses a straight razor. And my grandfather, he refused to go to Tony because he would, he was like, he uses an old Dago trick. And that was to use a straight razor to get like super, super close. Yeah. He's like, yeah, they do that. And it grows in faster. And I'm like, how?
Yeah.
It doesn't grow in faster.
As you know, I was in the Marine Corps for 10 years. And in the Marine Corps, they make you get your hair cut every Sunday. Before you go to work on Monday, every single Marine, you get a haircut on Sunday. That's why you go around like Camp Lejeune, around North Carolina, Camp Lejeune. You're going to see 150 barbershops outside of base. I mean, they're everywhere because there's 10,000 Marines trying to get their hair cut all at the same time on Sundays. And every single time those haircuts are all the way to the skin. They're straight razored to the skin.
Well, the thing is my grandfather was in the Army, so he always had a fucking like high and tight fucking haircut.
Right.
He always had a fucking military haircut.
I like the feel of that. I like it when it's all straight razored down to the skin and stuff.
But for some reason, when the Italian guy did it, he'd be like, the fucking Dagos.
That's what it was. It was just the fact that he was an Italian doing it.
Yeah. That's how it was where I grew up. Where I grew up, you didn't like. It's weird. Like my grandfather hated the Irish too, even though he thought he would say that he was German. And motherfucker, you're English and Irish. That's what he was. My grandfather was English and Irish, more Irish than anything, I think. Mm-hmm. But very little fucking German in him, but he would claim that he was German and that his last name Oxenford, he would say it was Oschenfort. It was Oschenfort. It was a German name, and it's like, when years later when we tried to tell him no, it's Oxenford, and here's where the name comes from in England. Here's where your family's from. He was like, go shit in the hat, because he refused to fucking hear it.
It is what I say it is.
He refused.
Oxenford just sounds like somebody trying to say Oxenford shit-faced.
Well, listen. I had two sets of three, but my grandfather, my real last name is Riley, if it's not fucking hard to find. Riley. And I grew up in a very Irish, Catholic neighborhood. And so my grandmother, my dad's mom,
it's pronounced Irish.
She married a guy named Tom McElhenney. If you're not familiar with the name,
was there ever a more fucking Irish name than McElhenney? Holy cow!
Well, do you know are you not familiar with the last name McElhenney?
I don't know. Maybe I am. I'm not sure.
Rob McElhenney?
I am definitely not sure then.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Okay, I do know that show. Which one is he? Is he the
Mac?
Oh, Mac. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I know him. Oh, wait, is that his real name or is that his name in the show?
No, his name on the show is Mac, but his real name is Rob McElhenney.
Okay.
He's related to my grandfather.
Really?
Yeah, but he's my step grandfather. He's from the same area I am, like that I'm from in Philly. Rob McElhenney is really from Philadelphia, and he's from the same like neighborhood I'm from.
Are all those cats from Philly in that show?
No. Like
that's
Charlie Day's from New York.
Show, man.
Yeah, I liked it early on. I
didn't make it past like the third season, but the
pretty much
were pretty funny.
Yeah, but yeah, they would do some exterior shots in Philly, and then they did most of it in out in like L.A. And it's funny because the bar from It's Always Sunny, the exterior shots are all filmed in L.A. and people like will swear that it's Philly. Like, yeah, I have a picture outside. Yeah. I'm like, no, you don't. You fucking liar.
That's like the bar from Cheers in Boston. It's like it's like somewhere completely different. Well, like I think
the Bull and Finch.
Yeah, like the outside.
It's called the Bull and Finch.
Is it the inside that's in Boston or the outside that's in Boston, and then the inside or the other one is somewhere completely different?
The outside's Boston, and it's, like I said, the place is called the Bull and Finch. The interior of Cheers is kind of made to look like it, but the Bull and Finch is really small.
So is the interior just a set somewhere, or is it an actual? Okay.
Yeah, it's just
okay.
Yeah, it was a set. Well, anyway, so getting back to why I brought up my grandparents. So I grew up with two set my grandpa. His name is same as mine, Jack Riley. He was like a chief of police in New Jersey, in his town in Jersey. But I never really bothered with that guy. He wasn't a grandfather to me. So the one I would consider my grandfather was Tom Oxenford, who I got my namesake Ox is after, and Tom McElhenney. And so my grandfather, ever since he told me, he was like, it's supposed to be Oxenford, I would call him Oxenfart.
It's a very childish thing to do.
Well, I was a little kid, and I would call my other grandfather, instead of calling him McElhenney, I would call him McElhenney.
McElhenney? I was trying to get McElhenney.
So I would say Oxenfart and McElhenney.
Oxenfart and McElhenney? Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, were you a nerd.
Oh, God, I still am. I still am. 30 years later, here I am still fucking calling them that.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, but I don't even know why I was talking about that now. I remember getting back to that part, but...
Well, on the topic,
the haircuts.
Yes, haircuts, of course. On the topic, though, while we're there, of TV shows, did you see that AMC has a brand new television show coming out in early April? I think it's like April 6th or something. Did you see it?
Yes, I did. As a matter of fact, Pierce Brosnan is a star. He's on the cover of Cowboys and Indians magazine, the April 2017 edition.
He certainly is. On the cover of Cowboys and Indians April issue magazine, you'll see a big shining picture of Pierce Brosnan in a cowboy hat, because he's going to be in a new Western.
Actually, he's holding the hat. I think it's a derby he's holding. I'm not really sure. And we covered that on one of our previous episodes, how the hats that they would typically wear back in the Old West were derbies and not cowboy hats.
Well, the thing is with that show, like first off, there's a new country western drama TV show coming to AMC, kind of in the same vein as, well, not in the same vein, but they also have Hell on Wheels. So, and with the success of Hell on Wheels, I assume they're just like trying to pile on those Western shows because they see that there's obviously
Hell on Wheels. Are you forgetting Westworld?
Well, that's not AMC though. I was just going with AMC shows.
With AMC, yeah. But I think even if Hell on Wheels wasn't around, AMC would have probably tried to done something like that anyway.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. But I think I think it's a good thing that I think now there's these big TV channels that are recognizing that there is a huge audience for Western drama TV shows. So especially now that
yeah.
that Westworld is that with the success of Hell on Wheels, not that it was a huge success, but I think a lot of people liked Hell on Wheels. And now with Westworld
Absolutely.
coming out, even though Westworld has got the great big science fiction factor in there too, a lot of it, most of the show is Western drama. You know what I mean? But I think now that people are realizing, especially with Westworld out, that there's a huge audience for that sort of television. I think we'll see even more of them coming out. But I can't wait, man. I can't wait for this new show. It's actually, let me run down the synopsis here. We already said it's got Pierce Brosnan.
Well, hold on.
Go ahead.
But before you get into the synopsis, I was just thinking, there was also the Hatfields and the McCoys miniseries.
Yeah, that
had.
miniseries on the History Channel.
But was that?
I think it was,
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. I don't remember where it was. It had Bill Paxton.
Yeah, I think it was on the History Channel. Bill Paxton.
That was fucking good.
It had Kevin Costner too. One of them was a Hatfield and one was a McCoy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great.
God damn that.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I tried to watch it when it initially came out, and I watched it, and I was like, oh, this is boring. I guess it just wasn't feeling it at the time. I watched it maybe about about 2 months ago. It was about the time we were just getting into this, and I don't think I ever told you. I sat there and I watched it. Man, it was fucking good.
Is it just two movie length episodes? Is that what it is? Like 2 2-hour
I don't
episodes?
remember. I don't know. I don't know if it was 2 or 3 or what it was.
I want to say it's just 2-hour episode or 2-hour basically movie size.
I haven't done this before on the show, but I'm going to ask you because I have to go. Listen, to anybody that's listening, I just want you to know that I have belly problems. I have a sensitive tummy. So I'm going to ask you, Cole, to keep talking. And I'm going to go to the bathroom. I can't wait until our break because of my big boy belly problems. And I'm going to come back and I'm going to pretend like I know what the fuck you're talking about.
All right, let's do that.
I'll just try to pick up and see where you're at.
Okay.
All right. So you go ahead and tell us about the sun and whatever else while I poop like a big boy.
All right. I'm sitting here watching Ox's camera, and he just keeps he's fiddling with this roll of toilet paper. I don't know what he's doing, but he's looking down. It looks like he's wiping something off his belly or his stomach or something, and he just looked so. I sensed that something like this was coming because he looked so tremendously uncomfortable. I was actually just waiting for this, and I was laughing inside the cold sweat that was rolling down his forehead while he's trying to talk about Pierce Brosnan and Westworld and whatever the hell else he was talking about. Very comical. I wish the listening audience could have just seen this video feed of Oxford while he was doing this. Oh God, classic Ox. Oh man, I'm gonna have to start recording the video. Anyway, here's the synopsis of the new AMC show, The Sun is what it's called. The Sun, starring Pierce Brosnan. The show is going to follow. Actually, it's going to follow 2 concurrent time periods. The first one is the story of a young Eli McCullough after he's kidnapped and indoctrinated into a tribe of Comanches in 1849. So that's like straight up Wild West era right there. And then the other is going to be 60 years later, so sometime around 1910, 1909, something like that. We'll see a grown-up Eli McCullough struggling to maintain his family's cattle ranch, his cattle empire, during the turbulent bandit wars of South Texas. That is the synopsis that's online. So I had to do a little bit of research because I had no clue what the bandit wars were. I don't claim to be a historian by any means. So I did do some Wikipedia-ing. I don't know if that's a word. Wikipedia-ing of the bandit wars. And here is what I found. The Bandit War, or Bandit Wars, refers to...
I am back.
Oh, hi there, Ox. How...
I have wiped and washed my hands.
Okay, we were just talking about the synopsis of The Sun, and we were getting into the Bandit Wars a little bit, and we didn't talk about you or your business whatsoever while you were gone, so you'd be happy to know that. So, If anyway, would you?
Well, I know that's a lie because as I was getting up, I heard you talking about me fiddling with toilet paper, so I know that's a lie. By the way, just want to let you know that I wasn't wiping anything off of my stomach. I was fucking. First of all, I have the toilet paper here to blow my nose. I'm a nasally guy. Okay. And I used the toilet paper to cover my camera. Why? Because I'm shy about my tummy.
Oh, you didn't want to stand up in front of the camera?
I didn't want to. Right. I don't like to do that.
Come on. We're friends.
I'm shy. But I'm a big fat guy. And I don't want anybody seeing my big fatness. I'm very shy about my weight.
Meanwhile, he moves his head out of the way every time Brian walks by so I can see him.
Yeah, but that's not me.
No.
And refer to him as Buckaroo.
Buckaroo.
Okay?
Buckaroo, Brian.
Have some courtesy.
Another hefty fellow.
What were you? Look, all right. Our weight has nothing to do with this. I knew you were judgmental. This is why I cover the fucking thing. I don't need you. You already see how big I am.
I love.
You know,
I love you, Ox, and I love Buckaroo Brian too.
Okay. By the way, Buckaroo Brian wants to do a sports show with you. I think at some point.
I would love to do that. Yeah.
Just throwing that out there.
All right, let's do it.
We can build up a whole fucking network of shows, man. Mm-hmm. Build up a whole fucking network of shows.
Do it. Can we talk?
Have lots of ideas.
Have you read the? Have you already read the? I'm going to go back into this. Have you already read the synopsis for The Sun?
No. Actually, I haven't. I mean, a little bit.
Well, I don't want to go.
I should. I haven't actually read the article that's written about it in Cowboys and Indians, which I should have. I don't even know what fucking page it's on. But go ahead.
Well,
read.
I'm not going to do the synopsis. I'm not going to do the synopsis again. I already did it, but it is about some fellow named. Is some fellow named Eli McCullough, and he is like part of.
You mean McCullough?
Well, it's MC. It looks like McCullough.
Spell it.
MC. Damn it. MC.
Wow, who's this chick?
MC capital
Look at that
C.
girl.
Oh boy.
Look at that girl.
Hey.
God damn.
MC capital C ULLOUGH, which I guess makes sense that I would think McCullough because you say dough like dough, and that's like the end of dough, DOUGH.
Okay. Right. Okay. So this is weird. Now this is going to be so contradictory, and you could be like, well, then if it's pronounced that way, how come it's not McCulloch?
Oh yeah, because it'd be like cough. It's also cough too. Yeah.
Do you know the girl Shannon Doherty from like 90210 and she was in Charmed?
I've heard of that broad. Yeah.
Okay, so Shannon Doherty, her last name is supposed to be pronounced Doherty. That's like the Irish pronunciation.
Her last name is spelled DOHERTY, right?
No, man, no, it's like Doherty. Oh, that's how it's pronounced.
Oh, okay.
Hold on.
DOUGHTER. Fuck, I don't know. I lost myself.
Well, hers is DOHERTY. Yeah, hers is Doherty. But I know that there are other Dohertys, so hers might actually be pronounced Doherty. But it might have come from the name, like the DOUGH name. You know,
yeah,
like where it would be Doherty.
Yeah,
but
names,
I know
names
that way
evolve over time for sure. Yeah.
Like my last. Okay, well, hold on. So Doherty, I knew people with that last name, but it's not just Philly, and a lot of Irish people too. They pronounce it Doherty. It's just the way that the Irish would pronounce that. So this is probably a more anglicized version of that spelling. Like my last name, Riley, RILEY, and also REILLY or whatever, any variation of that. And the last name Raleigh, like was it RALIGH or how the fuck is
RALEIGH? Yeah, that's like the city.
Did I leave an EL? Yeah, Raleigh, North Carolina. Yeah. Sir Walter Raleigh.
Yeah.
That last name Raleigh and my last name Riley all derived from the same Irish last name. It was like O'Rourke or something weird like that.
That sounds like Nordic. O'Rourke.
Oh, well, I mean, think about where the old, Celts and stuff, they come from all over the place. I mean, they say from like the Iberian Peninsula they came, but also from like France, and like there was a lot of Vikings that came in. You know, like my son Lachlan. His name is Lachlan, and Lachlan is a like an Irish Scottish name, but it means like it has something to do with like the lake, like it has something to do with like Vikings and like
how do you
dwelling
spell Lachlan's name?
Laughlin.
So let me ask you something. Do people often call him Laughlin or Laughlin?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
that's what I
all the
figured.
time.
Yeah, I probably would be one of those.
That's another point. The Laugh, laugh, in Irish would be lock.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's something with that. Something with that GH, like DOUGH. Doc.
Yeah, names just evolve over time. It's weird. I think I looked up the history of my last name. My real last name is Cosby, just like Bill. Yes, let the jokes roll in. My whole life, everybody called me Crosby because for some reason nobody just believed that I had the name of that old black comedian Bill Cosby. But they always called me Crosby. But I looked up the history of the name Cosby, and apparently it was the name of a town in England. And people would be like, yeah, I'm so-and-so from Cosby. I'm this person from Cosby. And I guess when all that religious shit was going on in England, all these townspeople sort of just uprooted and went to Ireland. And so all these people were in Ireland, but they were so-and-so from Cosby. And so my name has lasted for all those hundreds of years though, and it's never really changed. But that
what did you just say though about Bill? Did you say somebody in your family's named Bill?
No.
Oh.
No, nobody in my family.
I thought
Bill,
you said
that I know of.
That would have been weird. That would have been funny.
No,
Okay.
That's not the names. Don't just like. Sometimes they'll evolve throughout time and throughout language into something else. But sometimes people will just change their names to. I mean, like, okay, for instance, Cole Younger, when their band of rebels was going around robbing banks everywhere, there was a good big portion of Cole Younger's family who all changed their last name to Junger, Junger, because they didn't want to be associated with the train robbers. So,
and the thing, it was so much easier back then too, because today, in order to change your name, you have to like announce it in a paper. Not that anybody fucking reads paper anymore, but you have to go through, like all these fucking hurdles to, to get your name changed, where before you just fucking change it. Like when people came over from Ireland to Ellis Island, a lot of times they wanted to shorten the names or, like I said, anglicize them, or just, if it was like Reilly or Reilley for some people, when they came over from Ireland, it's like, we're going to change it to Reilly. Now it's Reilly. Go ahead, go on your way.
I have a Facebook friend, is a female Marine that I served with, and she is transitioning to be a man, and
to a male,
a male, and she just finished changing her name, and she posted a picture on Facebook of like the document that she had to fill out to change her name to a boy's name or whatever she wanted, and like the things that they asked her. He wanted. And but the things that they like, you have to have all sorts of justifications for the name change and all that stuff. Like on the paper, it was all filled out, and I was like, wow, I didn't think it was that difficult. I mean, some guy changed his name to Meatloaf. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that whole subject's very touchy. We talked last night about people, like with the gender identities and the transgender, and then what's her name? Rachel.
We were talking
Dolezal.
about Rachel Dolezal. I was asking you how you felt about that because I wasn't really sure how to feel about it.
Yeah,
that's the girl. For anybody who doesn't know, that's the girl who was she was the head of a branch of the NAACP, and she looked like a light-skinned black person, and then it all came out and unraveled on the biggest stage in national news that she was actually just. They had childhood pictures of her. She's just some freckled little blonde girl, and she was just flat out pretending to be a black person.
That's all it is. Like, her parents came forward and they're like, nah, she is a liar. She never lived in a teepee. Her dad briefly lived in a teepee 3 years before she was born. She never lived in a teepee. She grew up, even her brothers, her like adopted brothers came forward and they're like, one's black and one, I don't know if he's half black or if he's Haitian. He might be the Haitian one, because I know that there were 3 black brothers and 1 Haitian brother, and they were all adopted. Basically, what happened is she took an interest in African arts, because she was an artist. Like, she would do paintings and sculptures and stuff, and she took an interest in it, and I guess like in her brother's lives, and started. She then went to Howard University. She got accepted into Howard based off of her fucking art, not even without them even seeing her.
Right.
They never saw her, and they accepted her. And then when they saw her,
is Howard like an African American university or something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and so she got into that, and then it just kind of went on from there. Then she started lying, saying that her real dad is her stepdad, and that her real dad's a black guy named whatever, and she threw out this name, and her mom's like, I never even met that guy. Like, are you kidding me?
Who is that person?
Like, she's a nut. She's a complete psychopath.
Yeah.
And like, even the people from the NAACP are like, you could have just told the truth.
But
you didn't have to lie.
Here's the problem I was having with it, though. Like, you say that, like the gender identity crisis thing. That's an actual, like, a biological thing inside you, where you might be a girl and you legitimately have like genes that make you feel like you should be a boy.
Here's the thing.
But no, wait. But can I just finish real quick? Like, but maybe even though she may not have a gene in her that makes her feel like an African American or whatever, she does obviously have some sort of. I think she's got to have some sort of mental identity crisis. You know what I mean? Like, something in her head where that it could could still be construed as like, well, maybe she just legitimately has always felt that way. I don't know
what one doctor was trying to say, dude. And here's the thing, I disagree with it. I know where you're going with it. Right. I know where you're going. I'm not trying to cut you off. Like, here's the thing. I brought this up. My girlfriend has a cousin who is female to male. Okay, his name is Gene. He was Gina before. When I first, just a couple years ago, I met him as Gina. Now all of a sudden he's Gene. We talked about this when the story broke. What was this? 2 years ago? Mm-hmm. 2015.
Yeah.
And I was like, how do you know that this – I brought the same question. How do you know? And Gene got so defensive, like, no, it doesn't work like that, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, but it works like that for you. Yeah. But Gene makes a good point, because here's the thing. When you're developing, the reason, there's a reason why men have nipples. There's a reason why women have nipples. Women have nipples to breastfeed. Mm. Apparently, we all start out as female.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. The reason why we all have nipples is because we all sort of start out as females or something, and then something changes. Then, I don't know if there's any truth behind that, but I've heard it before. Yeah,
I don't know either, but that's what I've heard. But going by that would make sense, right? So it makes sense that, okay, we're supposed to split, but then something goes wrong with the wiring.
I like to say right. Yeah,
a lot of people do, because they don't want to see themselves as like, nothing's wrong with me, this is how it's supposed to be. Nah, I disagree, and I think maybe it's a way for nature to help. I don't know, like fucking what's it called?
Reproduction.
Natural selection.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I see what you're saying.
Just like homosexuality, people are like, oh, it's not natural. It's very natural.
Yeah,
homosexuality is very natural, and it's
been around since the very beginning of time.
not only that, but it's and they were like, oh, it's a choice. Okay, then stop choosing to be straight. Mm-hmm. Don't choose to be straight. If you're straight, don't choose to be straight.
Well, can you imagine? Can you imagine how fucking weird and difficult it must have been for like Wild West cowboys on the frontier, like who identified as women or who were homosexuals or whatever, and what if there were any that actually made that trip to the American frontier, Like,
that's a good topic. That's another show all in itself.
We're
man.
gonna save that one for next week.
well, hold on. Let's because we've already gone off. This somehow came from Pierce Brosnan being Doherty.
Yeah, because
not Doherty.
Because Pierce Brosnan obviously identifies as a woman.
Yeah. Yeah. No shit. We all know that.
Of course. Fuck. And Shannon Doherty is really a man.
Yes. But he only likes anal.
Oh, God.
Pierce Brosnan only likes anal.
What have we done? Oh, no.
I have no idea what we've done to these poor creatures.
Listen, okay, go ahead.
So going back to it, I think that there's some kind of wiring that goes wrong. Now, I know that they'll take offense, and by they, I mean black people. By they, there's an added spot.
What do you mean they?
Anytime I say make a joke, Cole gets so fucking flustered, shakes his head, and stops to edit that part out because it's a joke. I make jokes about everybody, but as soon as something a little fucking touchy comes up, listen, I'm a liberal. I know we were going to talk about this shit, but I'm a liberal. But just to kind of set this precedent, I'm a non-fucking PC liberal. I'm not PC. You're not going to hurt my feelings, and I don't give a shit if I'm going to hurt your fucking feelings. I also, with that said, don't try to go out of my way, and I think that's a problem with some people. They're like, oh, we shouldn't be PC, so I'm going to go out of my way to be a huge fucking cunt. I'm not going to do that. It's stupid to do that. I will make jokes, though. I'm going to make jokes about everybody. Nothing is off limits when making jokes. So going back to that, I think what happens is there's some kind of like wiring that goes wrong or something, and so somebody that's supposed to be born, somebody that's born a man mentally thinks that they're a woman. I have no fucking issue with that. If you feel that you were born in the wrong fucking body, dude, that's your thing. This woman, however, I think bought into her own lies, or she's just a complete fucking con artist. It's okay to want it. Like, you see people like this all the time. You see the Cash Me Outside, how about that girl?
Yeah.
She thinks she's black. Now, somebody like, how can you talk black? Easy. If I go, hey, yo, what's up, nigga? Now, am I white or black? You're gonna think of me as either a black person or a white guy that wants to be black. We know who that is, we know who that person is, and there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that, but there is in a sense that you're not being you're being a phony, and then to pretend like that's how you really sound.
But he is being. I mean, I've met a lot of people like that who
Wait,
like
who?
sort of a lot of people like just straight Caucasian dudes who pretend
who are you talking about?
Who act like they're. I mean, I keep saying pretend and act. I just mean like who are. They seem like they grew up in a black America. You know what I mean?
Well, okay, but the thing is, but what about the people that aren't like this Rachel Dolezal? I mean, if you listen to things now, apparently she doesn't have that accent and doesn't sound like that. But like her dad was saying that like when she would be on the phone, she would sound black. She was putting on putting on an accent. The Catch Me Outside, how about that girl? Putting on a complete fucking accent. That's not how her dad's a cop that lives in like Florida, complete like straight white dude. Her mom is a white girl, right, from like New York or something like that. Doesn't sound like that. She was raised with her mom. So if you're raised with your mom who sounds like that, how the fuck do you all of a sudden, and at only 13 years old, have that fucking accent?
It's the culture that she grows up in, man. It's the culture that she grew up in. It's a culture
that she wants to identify with, not that how she really sounds. Because there's so many people, and I would always make fun of people that sound like that when they're like, hey, yo, what's up? Like, I know so many dudes that I grew up with that would be like, yo, what's up, my man? Yo, what's up? What's good, homie? Yo, what's good? Then they're around their mom's like, oh, hey, mom, what's up? And I'm like, what happened to yo,
hey,
good,
mom.
what's up? Hey, mom.
Hey, mom, can you make some pizza rolls? Me and my friends are going to watch Tombstone.
Yeah, we're gonna go watch Two Summers, and then we go says, "Yo, my, yo, she make the bomb ass piece of roll, nigga. Early, nigga." And it's like,
but you know what? Just playing devil's advocate though. Didn't she grow up with like 3 adopted black siblings, or 3 or 4 of them?
They all speak like me and you.
I don't know, man.
Dude, they all speak like me and you. I listen to the one who's like say like the one who is fucking black as coal, like, and I don't mean you,
not me. No, I'm quite white.
I'm talking like the color of his skin, which doesn't mean anything, and but. In a sense, trying to paint the picture of what you would think, what people typically would think of somebody, and this is where stereotypes fucking go wrong. Is that like she acts like one way, and then the brother is, and when I say brother, I don't mean like, hey, yo, what's up, my brother? I mean her stepbrother or adopted brother, whatever, is just a dark-skinned black guy. And if you just heard him talk, you would think he's a white guy, just going by typical because it's I don't know if it's racist to say that, which some people will say it is, but people call everything racist. Like the show Iron Fist was called racist because it has a white savior character, even though the comic book was written like that in the 70s with a white character. Now it's being called racist for not casting an Asian guy to play a white guy. I don't understand. I don't understand this thing, but why everything's racist today. But when you're around most black people, and you're raised around most black people, do not sound like, oh, hey, what's up, Gene? Hey, how you doing, buddy? Oh, hey, Jim Bob. Hey, how you doing, man? Oh, you want to go to the library? And yeah, and you may have met a handful, and I have too. Yeah, but that's what 5 compared to like thousands and thousands, of fucking millions, of black people, when there's probably there's probably thousands that sound like that, and then there's millions that don't sound like that.
All right, so what is your final decision on Rachel Dolezal? Let's get this over with.
My final decision on Rachel Dolezal is that
I call her Doltizol.
Yeah, Doltizol. She grew up as a white girl, got interested in something, then was like, oh, I'm going to play this, this character up, and I don't know if she started to believe in it, but I think she's a pathological liar. Her husband was a black man, and she has, black children with him. Her husband even said that she lies. Her parents say she lies. Her brothers say she lies.
Yeah, listen, I was just playing the devil's advocate. I'm with you. I think she is just a person who is a liar, and she kind of fell into her own trap of lies, and she got to this point where there was just no return, and she was like, "Well, I'm in it now, so I have to just keep on going." The reason we were talking about it is because she just released a book about her, the way she identifies with being a black person and all that stuff, and you know what. Go ahead. Cole
texted me asking what I thought of her, and which is weird because I haven't heard that name in like 2 years. And I just thought it was funny that she passed herself off. Not only did she pass herself off as being black, she lied. She lied, straight up lied, and fucking wrote down that she's African American and white on forums. Like, she lied about it. She was teaching. She even lied on forums saying she's a professor. She's not a professor. She put down on different websites and shit that she's a professor because she teaches courses at colleges. She teaches a course or taught a course about black women's hair. Black women's hair, because she had dreadlocks.
Well, she had that figured out for sure. Yeah, she had that figured out. She had
the real skinny dreads.
Yeah. She had several different haircuts. I was looking up pictures of her last night. She had the black woman hair down, so she is the authority on that. I would go to her if I wanted to learn how to do that. Yeah.
But that's the thing, is that's like, and it's fine to do whatever you want to do, but you're going out of your way now to make your hair look, because we know her hair is fine as fuck, and I don't mean fine as in the black, oh shit, girl, your hair is fine as fuck. No, it was fine as in thin, as in straight, as in fucking, the only thing that helped her out was a tan and the fact that her nose is wider. Like, if you ever looked at her before, she had the white, so that helped her. That helped her fucking case.
She had the nostrils for it, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, she had a wide. Like, my girlfriend has a wide nose. You know, like, if you have the wider nose and you get dark enough, man, you can start passing yourself off. Yo, Caitlyn should start passing herself off as black. I mean, she's 8% Spanish and she's Native American, and some other stuff. She's Scottish and some other shit, but she should start passing herself off as black.
In the interest, since we're already talking about a female, and well, a couple of them. Now that you brought Caitlyn into the conversation, let's go to our first break. And isn't it like a female?
I thought you were gonna say let's go to our first caller.
No, yeah, let's go to our first.
Let's go to our first caller.
Go to our first break. Isn't this in March?
Yeah, what's up? This is Tanisha. Hey, I love Smoke Wagon. Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's three women now.
Smoke Wagon.
And isn't this like Female History Month or Female Appreciation Month or something like that? There has to be something going on there. Otherwise, I wouldn't have made this because you asked me to make it, right? Isn't there? Doesn't March have?
I was going off on my Tanisha.
Doesn't March have something to do with females?
No. Yes. Yes, it does. It was International Women's Day. This was like a week or two ago.
International Women's Day was a couple of weeks ago when I actually made this break for us.
International Women's Day was, hold on, let me get the date. It was March 8th.
Okay, so March 8th.
We are now at March 26th.
Okay, so we're a couple
That's how
weeks.
much you care about women.
We're a couple weeks late. Hey, we're doing it either way. Listen, our first break, and this is about one of the great women.
Well, hold on, and before we come back, after we come back, not before we come back, because that would be now. After we come back, we're going to finish talking about Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah, I'm going to hit up those. I'm going to hit up those Bandit Wars. So
this is Smoke Wagon ADD session.
All right, here we go.
Smoke Wagon presents A Short History of the West.
Martha Jane Canary was an American frontierswoman and professional scout who served under General Custer himself. Jane, a rowdy woman who had a knack for shooting a rifle, telling tall tales, and wearing men's clothing, earned her reputation during the Muscle Shell Indian outbreak of Wyoming in 1872. She was with a man named Captain Egan when they were ordered to quell an Indian uprising near Goose Creek, Wyoming. After a couple days, when the soldiers were heading back to camp, they were ambushed by a large group of Indians. Captain Egan was the first to be shot and fell from his horse. Jane was riding in advance, but upon hearing gunfire, she turned in her saddle and saw the captain fall. Galloping back, she lifted him onto her horse and got him safely back to the fort. Captain Egan, upon recovering, laughingly said, "I name you Calamity Jane, the heroine of the plains." The legend was born. Some of Calamity Jane's other exploits include being closely associated with legendary gunslinger Wild Bill Hickok, performing in several different Wild West shows, and being largely known as a hard-drinking woman who lived a rough and raucous life. Calamity Jane died on August 2nd, 1903. Her final two dying wishes were a request for someone to give her the date, followed by a request to be buried next to her friend Wild Bill Hickok.
So there's our little commemoration of National Women's History Day, whenever he said it was, March 8th or something like that. Anyway, we wanted to get back into, oh boy, we got off starting to talk about The Sun, AMC's new show, and about 10 minutes into the show, we hit an embankment, and we started this long descent down a snowy mountain. And now we've come up. Now we've
somehow
come up.
we went from shows to haircuts to fucking transgender, transracial.
But we've come up the other. We've come up out of the holler now. We've come up on the other side, and we've found the road again. We're back, and The show, The Sun, is about.
Remember that song, On the Road Again?
I do remember On the Road Again. Another thing we should talk about.
Funny that and that's funny that you said the holler. That's another thing that I want to talk about on the second. So just to get people caught up, this is episode 7. Now, there's going to be another episode called, there's an episode called Smoke Wagon. Did I make that hand fart sound again that I did in Smoke Wagon Extra? There we go. Yep, still doing it. I clasp my hands again a lot for some reason, and every time I do it, it makes fart noises. So, because I'm a fucking mature, almost 37-year-old. We did an episode called Smoke Wagon Extra, The Haunted West. Now, I went through and I changed it to Smoke Wagon Extra, The Haunted West, episode 1. Being that we're going to do another one, and I hope we're going to do more throughout the year. Mm-hmm. I hope that it's a regular series that we do. We'll take a few haunted, whether it be haunted stories of the West or personal haunting stories, or stories we read about. Like there's, I actually have another one, so I'm going to save it for our other, a Haunted West episode. We're going to do part 2, and then we're going to do other Smoke Wagon Extra episodes. So we'll do like I have one in mind about the Chinese in the West. Mm-hmm. So that whole episode will be focused on Chinese in the West. So it'll be like Smoke Wagon Extra, and then whatever the title is.
And then of course we're going to do one about homosexual cowboys and cowboys who had gender crises.
If that can happen, if that's a thing, then absolutely. If we can find enough on that, dead serious. I know we're going to do a Father's Day special.
Mm-hmm. Definitely have that.
And I'm trying to think. Yeah, I don't know what else. What other specials we're going to have, but they'll be under the name Smoke Wagon Extra, and then all the other ones will just be regular podcasts, all right, or internet radio shows, as I called them before, podcasts.
That's right. Thank you.
So anyway,
the Sun, like I said, the first, it's going to be 2 concurrent time periods. One is a young Eli McCullough, if that suits you better, and when he's basically indoctrinated into this Comanche tribe, and when he's a young kid, and then 60 years later when he's trying to save his family ranch from the bandit wars, and that's around 1910 or so. I looked it up. It says the bandit wars are from 1910 to 1915. Let me talk about the bandit wars real quick, because that's a large part of what this show is going to revolve around. The bandit war, or bandit wars, this is straight off of Wikipedia, by the way, refers to a series of raids in Texas started in 1910 before finally culminating in 1915 that were carried out by Mexican rebels from the states of, I'm going to butcher this, Tamaulipas, Coahuila, Chihuahua, and before 1914, the, good Lord, there's a lot of words in this I can't pronounce, Carrancista faction was responsible for most of the attacks, but in January 1915, rebels... By the
way, we're doing a whole show on you just pronouncing fucking names.
I know, right? Here's another one, Seditionistas drafted the Plan of San Diego. Anyway, basically, the plan called for a race war.
I went to high school with her.
It was seditionista for a race war.
Hey, yo, what's up? Yo, this is seditionista.
Yeah, it was Mexicans trying to rid the American border
and her brother,
the American border state,
John,
of their Anglo-American population and the annexation of the border states to Mexico. The Mexico wanted the border states. So that was what the bandit wars were. And however, the seditionistas were never able to launch a full-scale invasion of the United States, so they resorted to conducting small raids into Texas. Much of the fighting involved the Texas Ranger Division, though the United States Army also engaged in small unit actions with a few of them.
Now, did you know that? So Pierce Brosnan wasn't supposed to play McCullough. He was Sam Neill was supposed to play him.
Oh, is that the guy from? Wait, don't tell me. Event Horizon. Do you remember that movie, the horror movie where he's in space? Sam
was
Neill.
He in Event Horizon? Let me see. I'm looking. I'm trying to find. I know he was in Jurassic Park.
Oh yeah, that's him then. Yeah, same guy, Sam Neill.
Okay.
Yeah, he was in Event Horizon and Jurassic Park.
Hunt for Red October.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Event Horizon. Yep, 1997. Yep. I didn't know that he was Australian. I thought he was English. Huh.
I didn't care either way.
No, wait a minute. He lives in New Zealand. I'm sorry. I'm all fucked up. He lives in New Zealand, but he's
pretty
from
much Australia.
Northern Ireland.
Northern Ireland?
He's from Northern Ireland. Yeah, Northern Ireland, lives in New Zealand. There you go.
Anyway, the show looks
I would love to visit New Zealand.
Oh, man. You know how many freaking awesome shows are filmed there? The place is so...
Dude.
The place is so gorgeous. It's beautiful, like the landscape and everything.
Did you ever watch Flight of the Conchords?
No, never.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I thought it was a band.
Stop recording. It is a band, but they did a TV show on Buckaroo. What was it, HBO?
Yeah.
They did Buckaroo's back, by the way. They did a show on HBO. Goddamn, one of the funniest things I've ever watched on TV.
Really?
So fucking, dude, hilarious. So fucking funny. I'm serious. You need to start watching that. God damn, is it good?
I will.
All right, so go ahead. Go back to this. We just got talking about fucking New Zealand, and it made me want to watch fucking Flight of the Conchords.
Anyway,
again.
we basically covered it. That's what the show's about. It's another new Western drama coming out on AMC. I think it starts April 6th. I can't wait to watch it personally. I'm definitely going to be... April 8th. I'll be there on episode 1 to check it out. Maybe we'll even...
it's going to be a 10-episode season.
Okay. So I think that's pretty typical of most AMC shows. They'll do a 10-episode season to sort of try to figure out if there's going to be an audience for it, and then they'll probably the next season, if it gets renewed, will be a little bit longer, I assume.
Yeah, I know some are like 13, and then like a typical drama on Fox or something like that is like 24 episodes.
Yeah, AMC loves to. AMC is one of those channels that loves to do the mid-season finale and then finish up the season with another 10 episodes, which I kind of like. I'm kind of a fan of that. So
yeah, I'll absolutely be watching this. It's about the Old West, so or it's set in the Old West. So
it's kind of up our alley.
It's based on a 2013 book. Have you read the book?
I have not read the book, but it's on my list. Yeah, it's
on your list. Did you talk about that? Because if you did, I didn't.
No,
hear.
it's based on a novel by Philip Myers. It's a critically acclaimed novel. It's supposed to be very, very good. I have not read it.
Won a Pulitzer Prize.
Yeah, I've never read anything by Philip Myers, but I'm definitely looking forward to read. I don't know if the book is named The Sun. It might have a different title. I'm not sure, but I'm definitely gonna hit that up.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was a finalist. It was a finalist for Pulitzer Prize for fiction.
Yeah. So just like Lonesome Dove, I think Lonesome Dove was also a finalist, but probably did not win, or maybe it did win, or did Lonesome? I think
check
Lonesome
this
Dove
out.
Did win.
This is Meyer has said that he's conceived The Sun to be the second part of a trilogy of novels that began with American Rust. Now, I don't know what American Rust is, but I'm sure that's worth looking into.
It sounds like a reality TV show.
Yeah, right? American Rust does sound like... All right, after American Pickers, American Rust. Right. And it's funny because they talk about that on American Pickers about how they love Rust.
Yeah, right.
You ever get into those shows?
I have watched a few American Pickers. They are really, really interesting. I love when they go to those old farmhouses and ranches that they've just been accumulating shit for hundreds of years, and these guys just have memorabilia from the 1800s and even prior sometimes. Just shit that's been collected in these old ass barns for. Well, there's
some episodes they have where not only do they have that, but they have people that have their own towns. They collect buildings. And there's a dude that has an Old West town on his fucking property he bought all these buildings. Yeah, he bought all these buildings, and he's got his own fucking Old West town.
Does he do anything with it, or is he just kind of?
No, it just sits there.
Does he maintain it at least?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. But all I know, dude, if I had a fucking town and I had a little general store, I would live. Right?
I would live in it.
I would be running that general store. I would hire people to come fucking work at these places.
I would call Time Warner. I'd be like, "Can we get cable up here?"
Yeah.
My saloon needs ESPN. So
here's the thing. Here's the thing. Like, we talked about Smoketown before. We talked about like our hypothetical town. My hypothetical fucking thing, it works just like an old fucking no cars. I'm sorry, no cars around. The only way you're allowed to get out to the main thing is by our miniature train.
Yeah,
that will take you.
And you know what? Hold on. You know what? Fuck it. I said cable. Fuck cable. We're not getting cable up there either. But go ahead.
No, we are. We're getting cable.
Yeah, we are getting cable.
No, we're getting it. We're getting. Here's the thing. We're gonna have electronics. We're gonna have air conditioning, cable. That's all we. But the cable's just for nighttime, for like good shows to DVR, because during the day we have shit to do, man. Yeah. We have gunfights.
Yeah. We
have fucking right. We have to make sure our horses are drinking out of the trough.
Yeah.
You know, we have to have. That's the only mode of transportation throughout the town is horse.
Okay.
The problem is that they don't have to go far. You know, like. Because it's just our little town. So, I mean, I guess we would have like a lot of other property for the horses to roam around on.
I want one of the buildings has got to be one of those photo shops where they take pictures of you with the big flash bulb. And they're like,
it takes 15 minutes.
Yeah, you're like,
yeah,
and like the glass like explodes when the picture takes. And you have to stand there 15, 20 minutes to get your picture taken. I'm definitely going in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but like all the farming and stuff has to be done, you know, like around there. Yeah, it's going to be fucking done. But here's the good thing is there's not going to be any like Old West fucking, you know, like sexually transmitted diseases.
Of course.
You know, it's just not that. We'll have modern medicine. And our saloons will have like TVs. It'll still look like an old saloon, but we'll have TVs and ESPN and you know, like all the sports games.
I mean, you have to dress like a cowboy to go into the town.
Oh yeah, you can't come in town unless you fucking.
No, you gotta be suited up. Wear a duster, some spurs. You can't. Yeah, gotta ride a horse in there or walk in. That's fine too.
But what do you call it? Pointing toed cowboy boots are forbidden.
No pointy toe. It's got to be square, rounded. That's it.
Square, rounded. Yeah, this isn't The Rock in what was that? Get Shorty.
Be cool.
Yeah. Remember The Rock at Be Cool?
I don't remember that. You know what I think of when I think of the pointy-toed boots? I think of those two Mexican hitmen from Breaking Bad, the ones that had the skulls on the points of the tip of their boots. You know, I think of those.
Who are the Mexican hitmen from Breaking Bad?
I don't know their names. The long hair.
No, they were both bald.
Pointed.
They were both bald.
They were both bald. Right?
In Better Call Saul, they're both bald.
He said in Better Call Saul.
In Breaking Bad, they were both bald-headed dudes. They looked like brothers, bald brothers, and they had the skulls on the tips of their pointed boots.
He said they had skulls on the tips of their pointed boots, but he said they were bald in Breaking Bad.
I thought they had long hair.
No, they were both bald.
But they had skulls on their boots. Okay, so those guys, but no pointed toes. I hate those. I hate pointed toes. None of the no fucking snakeskin boots. Get out of here with that.
I was in the laundromat the other day, and I was sitting next to this Mexican dude, and he had boots on, and the toes were pointed, but they weren't just pointed; they were curled up, almost like Santa Claus elf boots. Yeah, like elf boots. They were pointed up and they went way up too, like a foot or something. It seemed like, or close to it.
Oh, it went straight up.
Yeah, no, like they curled way up like this, like a big curling arch.
Yeah.
And so I had to Google it. I was like, what the hell are these boots? These big curled pointed cowboy boots, and apparently they are a Mexican traditional type of boot made for dancing. They're like Mexican dancing.
Wow.
They're like Mexican dancing boots. These boots that curl way up and have the point on them. Now, I never knew.
Do you know? Apparently, like sombreros, they call them large hats.
Well, they are large hats.
No, but that's what they call them. They call it like Mexican large hats.
In Mexico?
I guess. I don't know. Like a lot of people some people will refer to them as large hats and not, and not sombreros.
Right. Well, I
it's
know.
Weird. But I'm pretty sure that there's another style of hat that I think that the old cowboy hat came from. Mm-hmm. The what you think of as
right.
As a regular cowboy hat. I believe came from like some kind of Spanish or some Mexican hat. That's something we would have to look into. That should be the fucking. Well, we talked about on our Fact or Fiction, which we haven't done a Fact or Fiction in a while.
We have not.
And I still have the section. No, still have the section on the website blank. I might have to eliminate the Fact or Fiction thing.
We might have to just get rid of that.
It's okay. Look, sometimes things work, sometimes things don't. And I figured that would be a fun little thing, Fact or Fiction. But I think that's something for later on when we actually have, if we have people calling in eventually, or we regularly have emails coming through. I do have one email. I got a piece of hate mail. Yeah, got a piece of hate mail. It's just fucking sitting there. Yeah, and I don't know if I should read it.
No,
I don't know.
of course you can't. You can't just mention it and not read it, Ox. I have not read this. I haven't even looked at it. So what do we got? Who's this one from?
You have to go. Man, it is like Ed from Sheboygan or something like that.
Sheboygan.
You're gonna. You're gonna have to go through it and read it. Bring it up in the old
all right.
Smoke Wagon Radio Gmail. But as you're doing that, I'm going to look up the traditional cowboy hat, or not the traditional, just cowboy hat. I'm going to look it up on Wikipedia because that's where all the facts are at.
Okay, so I have the email here open in front of me, and it looks like
actually, hold on, before you read it, let me just cut you off real quick and just get this out of the way. Real quick at the cowboy hat, it says the concept of a broad-brimmed hat with a high crown worn by a rider on horseback can be seen as far back as the Mongolian horsemen of the 13th century.
The 13th century? Holy fuck. Yeah. That's like 12. That's like the 13th century would be like 12 something. That's when the cowboy hats were made? Holy shit.
Yeah, and it's like a tall crown provided insulation, the wide brim shade, hot sunny climates inspired designs with very wide brims, such as the sombrero of Mexico. And then on Wikipedia, they have a picture of, these as a Mexican painting from 1830 showing these Mexican hats, which wasn't a typical sombrero, not what you would think with the little tassels and shit hanging off of them or whatever, it's just like a normal, which looks more like a cowboy hat.
Honestly, that kind of makes those. Go ahead.
No, I just say I think the cowboy, and then it goes on about oh, here it is. However, the original cowboy hats originated in northern Mexico, and Stetson hats came later. So yeah, they kind of took they took the look of the cowboy hats. So.
Yeah, it kind of does make sense now that I think about it that they're from that long ago, because when you think about like the Chinese and the Asian culture and like them farming like rice paddies and stuff, like little old women farming rice paddies, they'd wear those huge big brimmed hats like while they're farming rice paddies.
Yeah.
And that's been going on for 1,000 years or something. But okay, I can see where, and that old hat almost kind of looks like a freaking sombrero, except a little floppier and just kind of made of straw. Anyway,
right.
I have our email here. I'm going to scroll right to the bottom. It looks like it's from a gentleman named Ed. He says he is from Kenosha. Do you know where Kenosha is? Because I do not.
Kenosha is Wisconsin.
Wisconsin,
yeah, I believe.
Okay, Ed from Kenosha writes. Hello, Tent Killer. He spells my name wrong to begin with. So he spells Tent Killer instead of Ten Killer. Tent Killer. And yeah. Like somebody Dutch ovened a fucking tent? yeah. Like I just shit my pants in a tent and chased everyone out. Yeah, I'm the Tent Killer. Tent Killer Cole.
Oh,
hello,
this guy, he's a tent killer.
That does seem like it could be a phrase, like an Old West phrase. And hello, Tent Killer and Oxford. So you sound very dignified, and I sound like I shit my pants in a tent.
Yeah, I sound like like I'm of nobility, and you shit your pants in a tent.
Hello, Tent Killer in Oxford. Okay, here we go. While I can appreciate the fact that you're doing some funny stuff and reviewing a few old films on your podcast there, I have to take you to task a little bit because you've been kind of ignoring the great, vast legacy of Great Lakes cowboys. Okay, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, were there Great Lakes Cowboys?
I don't know of any Great Lakes Cowboys. So maybe a show.
That'll have to be its own show,
of course.
Yeah. Well, hey.
Okay.
Jinx.
Here we go. For starters, there's the no good cattle rustler, Cheese Wheel. Oh gosh.
Cheese Wheel?
No. His last name is I don't know. It looks Polish or something. It's the longest last name I've ever seen in my whole life. Cheese Wheel, I'm going to attempt this. Chesniajewski. Chesniajewski.
What?
Chesniajewski.
You're making that shit up.
No, I'm telling you. It's spelled CZYZNIEJEWSK. Well, this cannot be a fucking real name. This is not possible. Cheese Wheel. First off, his fucking nickname is Cheese Wheel. All right, how funny is that? If this fucking guy's from Wisconsin, Cheese Wheel, Chesniajewski. That's what I'm going to call him.
Well, there's a big. I know that there's a big. There's a lot of Polish in that area, up around like Chicago, Wisconsin, all in that area. There's a lot of. Yeah, there's not only a lot of like Nordic ancestry. There's a lot of Polish. In that area too, so it doesn't, it doesn't surprise me that there's a name like that in that area.
Well, old Cheese Wheel. I'm just going to call him Cheese Wheel C. He robbed 7 dairy trains between Milwaukee and Minneapolis in the 1880s. They say the cows in Sheboygan shudder in fear to this day when they hear his name.
I'm sure.
Yeah, all right. He was probably second only to okay. He was probably second only to Kielbasa Kowalski as far as it comes to feared bandits of the time around this way. Kielbasa Kowalski. I guess.
Well, now in Philly we would say Kabasi. I don't know why we say Kabasi, but we say that in I remember a buddy of mine had a screen named Kabasi Posse.
Kowalski Kowalski. As far as it comes
ridiculous.
to feared bandits of the time around this way. So Cheese Wheel and Kielbasa Kowalski. I guess what I'm trying to say is if you're going to do something, it pays to do it right. I had a heck of a problem here this past summer with a pack of prairie dogs really going to town on my rutabaga bushes. All right. Pesticides didn't do the trick, so I wound up setting an old-fashioned trap. I caught one of the little rascals in it, and I took him out, wearing safety gloves, of course, and I bit his cute little head off in front of the other. Hang on, I'm wearing safety gloves, of course, and I bit his cute little old head off in front of the other prairie dogs to teach them a lesson.
How do you follow that up? How do you follow up? I bit its cute little head off with. I was wearing safety gloves, of course.
This guy's trolling.
Wow.
Okay, it didn't work, and even worse, I developed a bit of a taste for the old fresh rodent blood. So I had to resort to burning down the rutabaga bush and chasing down the ones that tried to escape and killing them with my bare hands. The bush was ruined, of course, but I won. Whoa.
Oh.
Well, it looks like I got a little bit off track there, but I thank you for accepting a bit of constructive criticism, Ed from Kenosha.
What the fuck did that have to do with the show?
I have no fucking clue, man. Dude,
I'm pretty sure he just confessed to a crime.
He did. Somebody call animal control and send them to Kenosha, Wisconsin, because Ed is
and Sheboygan.
He's this guy. It starts with killing animals. I've read enough stories about serial killers. It starts with killing animals. Oh my God.
I have. Oh my God, dude! I talked in a previous episode about having the initials JTR for John Thomas Riley and Jack being a nickname for John. So I always go by Jack or Jackie, but my initials are JTR, and so I always like the idea that I have JTR like Jack the Ripper, So I've always been fascinated with Jack the Ripper, and so I have books on Jack the Ripper, and I also have a bunch of other serial killer books, and yeah, like people, like a lot of these crazy people, they would kill animals and shit as a kid. Oh. I think Ed from Kenosha is a serial killer.
Yeah, he's definitely out there
or at least on his way to be.
Mm-hmm. He's on the spectrum. so to speak. He's
got to live. He's got to live. He's got to. I'm just picturing him now.
He lives on a dairy farm alone somewhere
with his mother. No, he lives with his mother.
Okay.
But it's a very.
But his mother's been dead for 15 years.
Yeah, it's a psycho story.
Oh boy,
creepy Ed.
Creepy Ed. Don't send any more email. You know what? We're closing.
Yeah.
We're closing the Smoke Wagon Gmail account. No more. We accept no more. Accept no more emails. We've got two legit emails and one that was from my wife. The two that we got were both hate mail.
Hate?
I mean, I would call that one hate mail. I don't know. I mean, well, he says it's
call that hate mail. I would call that psycho mail.
Well,
that wasn't shitting on us.
He hates prairie dogs.
Was it? Yeah. He hates prairie dogs. I don't think he hates us. I don't think did it even talk about us.
Yeah,
at the very beginning.
Yeah, it's the very beginning. I don't know how anybody could hate prairie dogs. I went to this place called Spiro, Oklahoma one time to see these like Indian burial grounds, and the whole place was filled with prairie dogs. They just look like little ferrets to me, and I love ferrets. Although
what is prairie dogging?
I think that's a sexual term, isn't it?
Is that a sexual term?
I bet you if you looked up prairie dogging on the I'm
gonna ask old Buckaroo, because for some reason I have a feeling he would know. Buckaroo?
Yes.
What is prairie dogging?
I don't know, but I can look it up.
He's gonna look it up.
Yeah, if you look that up on what's that?
It's either sexual or pooping, or both.
The practice of looking over the wall of an office to observe coworkers.
No, that's not it.
No,
he said it's looking over an office wall to observe.
You have to drop Urban Dictionary. Urban Dictionary. Crap so bad it feels like the turd is moving in and out.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
It's turtle heading.
Turtle heading.
It's
yeah,
turtle
same
heading.
thing. Prairie dogging, turtle heading.
Yeah.
Okay. Same thing. Well, so we figured out what prairie dogging is.
Let's move on from fucking prairie dogging.
Let's do that.
Yeah, I just got two texts here. I got one saying that the Chinese place is closed. Actually, hold on. Let me start the other one real quick. As they're talking about, I mentioned the Kabasi Posse. I got a little note here talking about how the Kabasi Posse was also the name of a Polish gang in Port Richmond. Port Richmond is a section of Philadelphia.
Why would they call themselves that?
People did weird shit. There's a lot of Irish gangs in Philly, a lot of gangs in general. Polish gangs, Irish gangs, Italian, obviously had the mob.
Who are they?
Black gangs, the mob.
Yeah.
Oh, you never heard of the mob before?
No. Were they like a
the
club?
Mafia? Yeah, it's like a boys club.
Oh, cool.
And it's like the Philly area pronunciation of Kabasa or Kabasi. It's the Philly area pronunciation is derived from Czechoslovakia. So the Czech pronunciation of Kabasi or Kabasa is Kabasi. That's why we say that way in Philly.
Fuck, I'm starving now.
Yeah, and also. Kenosha is just north of the Wisconsin-Illinois state line, not too far from Chicago. So that explains why,
Oh, should I have?
Like
should I have read his mail in a Chicago accent?
I guess.
I guess. Wow. While I can appreciate the fact that you're doing some funny stuff there.
You're. It sounds like you're starting to do that, but then you're going to see.
Well, reviewing old films on your podcast there. I have to take you to task a little bit. I don't know how to do accents. Because you've been kind of ignoring the great, vast legacy of the Great Lakes Cowboys. I don't know. What accent is that?
That sounds like that area. Hey, do you like this skirt? When your girlfriend says, do you like the skirt? And you're looking, I'm trying to get the goddamn fucking picture in for it. It's like this really hot girl in this skirt. She's like, do you like this skirt? Of course I'm going to say yeah.
I like,
you like the skirt?
everything you wear.
I love everything about that picture. It's only $14. I was thinking about ordering it tomorrow. Sure. Have fun with that skirt and the girl. Does she come with it? And then I fucking went and get dinner.
Should we do the podcast now?
What?
I said, should we do the podcast now?
You are recording,
Of
right?
course I'm recording. That's what I'm saying.
You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. Anyway, no, I also got to think that the Chinese food place is closed, so she ordered
It's
Pizza
so
Hut.
easy to distract Oxenford. It's so fucking easy. Somebody sends him a fucking text about some meatballs or some fucking sausage or a fucking cute girl in a dress, and then he's lost. He forgets that he's even doing anything.
Oxenford?
I called you Oxenford. I was playing off. Ed from Kenosha gets away with calling you Oxford. Why can't I call you Oxenford?
He called me Oxford. You're just calling me my grandfather's last name.
Well,
my mother's maiden name.
I'm saying I'm gonna have to I have to clap every now and then to get your attention again.
Well, wings. Oh, speaking of food, I want to talk about Old West food in the Old West.
Beaver. That's what they ate. I've read enough damn cowboy.
That's all you got, beaver?
I've read enough Western books to know that those motherfuckers ate a shitload of beaver and buffalo. That's what they ate. And I'm not talking about the female beaver either. They might have eaten some female beavers.
Let me tell you something. They were unshaven, stinky fucking bitches back then. Which they would be okay with today. Then don't you think today's fucking feminists would perfectly fit back before showers and fucking, because they want to go back to, I don't understand why any woman wants to do that. Like, that's the thing now, like not shaving your armpits. Like, Wonder Woman just got criticized, the new Wonder Woman movie. The main chick, she's very pretty. She got criticized because she has her arms up and her armpits are shaven. And she got criticized for having clean shaven underarms. Because apparently you're not a real woman if you have shaven underarms. Heads up, I shave my fucking underarms.
Well, you're not a real woman either.
I'm not a real woman. But I shave my underarms. Do you know why?
Rashes?
My grandfather. I get stinkier. Oh my God, I keep burping. What the fuck? Not burping, but like hiccuping. My grandfather did that too. He would shave his armpits. Oxenford. He would shave his armpits too. And I asked my grandma when I was a kid, I was like, why does Pop shave his armpits? And she said, because my grandfather wasn't big on deodorant. He didn't use like regular deodorant. He would always use this cheap stuff. And I remember he had this like crystal fucking cube thing.
Just rub it under his arms.
Yeah, and it was supposed to be some deodorant thing, and I'm like, what the fuck? But my grandma would be like, oh, because his armpits smell like cat piss if he doesn't shave, and he grows fucking hair, and I'm like, huh?
Let me tell you.
As I got older, dude.
Let me tell you an embarrassing story real quick. When I was a kid,
let me finish my embarrassing story.
Okay,
you
go ahead. You go ahead. Then I'll go right into my embarrassing story.
No, I was just saying that I have the same thing where. I'm going to tell you one. I have what's called bitch pits, is what I call them.
Okay.
I have bitch pits.
That's not politically correct, by the way. That's not PC.
I'm not PC though. I'm the un-PC liberal. Here's the thing. I use female deodorant. This is not a joke.
Maybe you are a real woman.
Rib. No. Check. I have my fucking armpits are pH balanced for a woman. I have bitch pits. I have to use like Teen Spirit, or I have to use like Secret. You go like seriously, I proudly go and buy that shit too. Like at Walmart, I go in, I buy the double pack of Secret, and I get the clear
and a can of White Rain to spray in your beard.
Listen, that's none of your goddamn fucking business. But no, I do. I use Secret deodorant because when I use men's stuff, dude, it doesn't last. Like it'll last maybe 6 hours and then it's done. After that, I start fucking stinking. I use Secret. I can last 24 fucking hours, no problem.
All right.
Like there's something with my armpit, and so I also shave them. I hate having hairy armpits. I hate having body hair. And people, you have a beard. Ooh, yeah, I also shave my fucking head. Like you can see right now, I shave my fucking head. I have a beard, and I shampoo and condition my beard all the time. I use beard oil. I use coconut oil in my fucking beard. Like I try to keep. It has. It's not washed today. Actually, like I didn't wash it today. I basically rolled out of bed, called you, talked to you for 45 minutes, went downstairs while you were waiting for your steak. Went downstairs. I got some leftovers, and then how was your steak, by the way? Was it good?
I've had better steak, but it filled me. So,
there you go. That's what matters.
It fixed me right up.
Yeah, anyway, getting back to the fucking hair thing. Yeah, dude, I've been shaving my armpits for years, and I used fucking.
I should be clear.
deodorant,
I should
whatever.
be clear really quick because I just heard her yelling at me from the other room after I said that. It wasn't the way that it was cooked; it was the way that it came. Okay, that's all. It was thin. It was a thin steak. You know what I mean? Like I like a big, thick, juicy steak. It was kind of thin. It was about a half an inch thick. It seemed like.
And since she can't hear me, it was totally the way it was fucking cooked.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, it's totally the way it was fucking cooked. She sucks. You suck,
No,
his wife.
She's a wonderful cook.
No, I probably. Now, does she grill it or how'd she cook it?
She put it on the grill outside, out on the back porch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Caitlin could grill like a motherfucker.
I can't cook anything.
I could cook. Oh, dude, I'm a goddamn good cook. Brian?
Excellent cook.
Buckaroo, thank you. See, did you hear that? Excellent cook. I'm a goddamn good cook. Dude, seriously. There's a few things I should have been in life, and I'm without joking. I should have been a graphic fucking artist. I should have went to school for that shit. I should have been a graphic designer. I'm decent at graphic design. I'm good in a pinch. As I said before, I'm the guy that like if I have like I do like a rough draft. I'm good at doing a rough draft, and then you have to give it to somebody else to finish it, right? I'm decent with that. I'm a good barber. I cut hair.
Really?
And yeah, I cut hair.
I'll put that on the list of things I didn't know about Ox.
Yeah, it's true. I cut hair. I cook. I'm a goddamn good cook, and I'm a graphic designer. So, like, yeah, I do have some skills. I do have some skill set.
I play video games. Very
I have a
good
particular set of skills.
I'm a man with a particular set of skills.
Yeah, I can cut hair. I can cook your food, and I can draw your death. Anyway, I leave the grilling and the baking up to Caitlin. She can fucking bake and she can fucking grill. She's a good cook too.
How do you think they cooked beaver? Do you think they made beaver stew? Or I don't know how you.
Yeah, I think a lot of it was stews back then. Like I was looking for like old. Since I like to cook and it was colder and stuff, I was doing a lot of stews and stuff. So I was making like beef stew and stuff, like slow cooking beef stew. And I was looking apparently chuck wagon stew, which is pretty much beef stew, was I guess like an old Western recipe, you know.
Yeah, I feel like they probably made a bunch of stews. I feel like they ate a lot of rabbits too. A lot of.
Before we get into that, you need to tell me your embarrassing story. I remember I cut you off to finish.
Oh yeah, you were talking about hair, and I was when I was a kid, I actually I was like 16 years old and I was still a virgin, so I wanted to feel like the smooth leg of a lady. So I was taking a bath one day and I shaved. I
know this story. You told me this one before.
My left thigh, I shaved it completely bald, and then I would just lay in bed and like rub my thigh and pretend like it was a woman's thigh. So there's my embarrassing story. Very, very embarrassing. Yeah.
Yo, I have super embarrassing stories. I did some weird ass shit when I was younger, man. I did some weird fucking shit. I was jerking off with Paul Mitchell shampoo.
Oh my god!
And I got a rash on my dick, and my dad took me because I jerked off with it so much that my dick got raw. Ugh. And my dad took me to the doctor, you know, and his nurse is like checking on me. And she was like checking out my little pecker at the time. I don't know how old I am, probably about 10 or something like that. And she had to get my dick hard.
Oh no!
So it could be fully like erect, so she could check. And it was very weird. It was very weird.
What did she do to do it?
Well, she said something like, "This is the weirdest fucking part." She was like, well, I'm no Farrah Fawcett, but, you know, something. And at the time, I don't know who the fuck Farrah Fawcett is, you know, and that's the thing.
How old was she?
Probably like in her 40s or 50s at the time.
Okay. Oh, gosh.
But you're telling a little 10-year-old kid, I don't know. Basically, she's like, I don't know Farrah Fawcett, but, you know, like I'm good enough to get your dick hard. Oh, 10-year-old boy with a fucking rash. Like, now here's the thing. If I had the brain that I had, I would have probably fucked her because I'm a dirt dick. Yeah. I would have fucked fucking any fucking vagina at that time.
I want to know what she had to do. What did she do?
she was just putting like topical cream or something on it. You know what I mean? But I guess it was just like flaccid and small. So, you know, because I was a grower, not a shower. You know what I mean? So I guess, and being a little chubby 10-year-old, it was probably starting to fucking, you know, go in a little bit like turtle heading. Right. My dick was prairie dogging. So I probably had to fucking be erect for her to actually get the cream. Maybe she just wanted to touch my 10-year-old dick. I have no idea. Yeah. You know, I mean, she did throw out the fucking Farrah Fawcett comment. It looks like your arm's moving in a way. It looks like you're jerking off to the story. What are you doing over there?
I get restless legs when I'm sitting down for this long.
Get restless legs. I'm like, oh, just the one arm fucking goes. Like, oh, tell me more about this fucking Farrah Fawcett lady. The fuck you creep. God damn it. Oh, he's so creepy. Yeah, man. And there's other ones. There's other ones that are really embarrassing. I used to have a masturbation problem.
Oh my God.
Where I would masturbate everywhere.
Can we go into the Wagon Western of the week?
I masturbated in my church, in the fucking bathroom of my church, which my school was actually attached to my church. I masturbated in there. I masturbated
the assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford.
No, we're not done. Goddamn, I masturbated all over the place. You can't just talk over me.
The assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford, 2007, starring Brad Pitt, Casey Affleck, Sam Rockwell, Sam Shepard. Good movie. What do you think?
Look, you know, this is what we're going to do. You are actually going to tell that. And when I have to go to the bathroom again, all right? A big boy belly's a little rumbly.
Okay.
A little rumbly, my tumbly. And so I'm going to go poop. And you're going to tell about the Wagon Western of the week. You're going to talk about that. And then when I come back, we'll finish talking about the food.
You'll finish talking about it.
Right?
I'll be off somewhere else.
What are you talking about?
No, I'm just kidding. I'll be here for you.
Oh, okay.
I'm here for you.
All right. You go ahead. Hold on, let me get the old toilet paper out.
You have to. He's got to come. He's got to cover up
you could talk. You could talk about the Wagon Western of the week, and when I come back, we'll finish talking about the food. All right. Okay. Bye.
I have never met anybody who shits as much as Oxford ever in my life. We've been doing this show for 1 hour and 30 minutes, and the guy's taking 2 shits. I mean, I'm maybe a once a day guy, you know? I don't know. Anyway, the assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford, 2007. That was our Wagon Western. I said Wagon Western of the week from 2 weeks ago because, well, we skipped the show. Well, we did a little extra show, but that was our show. It stars Brad Pitt, Casey Affleck, Sam Rockwell, Sam Shepard, and this movie's. Well, it's a classic. It's a classic Western movie, and it has 3 of the greatest modern actors of all time, and that is Brad Pitt, Casey Affleck, and Sam Rockwell. Some people might disagree with me. I will tend to disagree with you. Brad Pitt is awesome. Not only is he a pretty boy, he is. Got a little man crush. He's also a terrific actor. But Casey Affleck, I'm going to go out on a limb and say even better than Ben Affleck, for sure. Maybe not a better writer. Better actor, for sure. Anyway, Sam Shepard, he was the sort of the wild card in it. He played Frank James, Jesse's brother, and he was also fucking badass in this movie. He's not really well known as an actor. He's more of like a playwright, is what he's known for. He played in a couple movies. He played the character Garrison in Black Hawk Down. He actually played the role of Chuck Yeager in The Right Stuff, the astronaut movie. He was also in Swordfish, which I have never seen, but apparently some people liked it. Anyway, mostly known as a playwright, I think. I love this movie, and I knew I loved it before I even picked it as the Wagon Western of the week. Actually, it was Ox that picked it, but I love the movie, and the only knock on it really is just the fact it's another movie about. I mean, we're kind of been sticking with this theme for the past 4 weeks or so about Jesse James and Cole Younger and that whole gang and how all their exploits and everything like that, of which there are plenty. So this movie starts after the Northfield bank robbery. This is sort of after the Younger brothers all get incarcerated after they get caught, and Clell Miller and Bill Chadwell dies, and so this is sort of towards the end of the bank robbing days of the James brothers, and this is sort of like right after they met. Of course, Robert Ford and Charlie Ford, who would eventually go on to be his assassins. Well, only Robert Ford was the one who shot him, but Charlie Ford was in on it too. Don't think you're getting let out of here without any blame. It's on you too. The blood is on your heads, Charlie. So the whole story is basically just how Jesse and Frank James meet Bob and Charlie, and basically the events that led up to the demise of Frank's brother, Jesse James, and how he got shot and killed. A very emotional movie. Very emotional.
You know what's crazy about that movie is it's very emotional. It made me feel weird. It made me feel super fucking weird. Like, as I'm sitting there watching it, it was something to do with the music. I think it was the fucking music that played throughout the movie. You know, like, where were you going? Go ahead. What were you going to say?
The movie, it was. First off, I always kind of wonder about the book. The movie's based on a book by who the hell's that? I can't remember who wrote the damn book now. But the book, I read the book before I watched the movie too, and all of the lines from the movie are taken directly out of the book. I mean, it's basically the book is the script for the movie, and it always made me wonder why he decided on that title for the book and movie. Really, obviously he didn't approve of the way that Bob Ford killed Jesse James, but Jesse James was a terrible man. So, like, was he compassionate, or was it just a catching title, or I don't know what the deal was.
The thing is too is that, like, right, I've heard that too, where, you know, like, people refer to Robert Ford as a coward, or Bob Ford as a coward, but, you know, what about when Jesse visits the guy in the cabin to take him out to town to eat? He's like, you know, I'll pay for dinner. And as they're on the trail, fucking dude gets off his horse and Jesse shoots him. Like, that's a coward fucking move.
Yeah.
You know, like Jesse was just as much of a coward as Robert Ford was. Yeah, right.
Really, no.
But he's considered to be the fucking hero.
Arguably, like, Jesse James is arguably a much, much worse man than Bob Ford will ever be and ever was. And
absolutely, and yet there's going to be people that are going to, you know, go, no, he was a Robin Hood, because he's the anti-hero, and that's what they want today. People want that asshole, and they want to fucking. The hell was that noise? Was that outside?
Dude, you might be about to be abducted.
Right? I think I'm not sure if what was that, Buckaroo? Was that a motorcycle, or was that a truck, or what?
Sounded like a motorcycle.
I didn't know. When I have the headphones on, it's hard to hear. You know, anything.
I heard it over here. It sounded like a freaking jet buzzed your house.
Yeah, I think it was just a motorcycle, though. I wasn't sure what the fuck that was. Anyway, no, but people will, you know, justify his actions, and somehow he'll, you know, he's some hero. He's like a hero to people, and I don't fucking get that. Like, he was a piece of shit. Mm-hmm. You know, he robbed all these fucking people. You know, and it just goes to show how hypocritical people are.
So the Ford brothers, Charlie and Bob, they were like, no,
forget what I was saying. Go ahead. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
They were approached by one of the Pinkertons, and they were offered a deal, basically saying, "Hey, we'll forget all about, because we know you were involved in a couple robberies with the James gang. Here's the deal: we'll grant you full immunity, and we'll even give you a little award if you deliver us Jesse James dead or alive." But I think there was a little bit of an insinuation there that this is a true story, by the way. This movie's based on a true story. And there was a little bit of insinuation to just go ahead and, when you get the chance, put a fucking bullet in his head, you know? And
absolutely. And what's funny is, because when we're talking, that was kind of like where I was going, or what I was thinking of, is with the Pinkertons. Think about what the Pinkertons did today, did back then with them. And then when I talked about the Molly Maguires in Pennsylvania, the coal miners, the Irish coal miners who had the secret society called the Molly Maguires. the Molly Maguires, as a matter of fact, I'm also going to talk about the Mollys on our next Ghost episode because it'll tie into that too.
Right
but the Pinkertons were big around here too because of the Mollys. But the same people that today will go, oh, you need to, love the police. And if you're anti-police, fuck you, you're a piece of shit, are the same people that, that idolize Jesse James and were like, yeah, and the same people love the Mollys too, especially in this area that I live. They all love those outlaws, those bandits, and they hated the Pinkertons, but it's like they were the cops.
Right.
They were the cops. Like, and these guys were the bad guys. And yet, it depends on, if it fits their narrative.
Well,
they're super hypocritical.
And while the title of the book does involve the coward Robert Ford, the book and the movie both, they really make you sympathize with Bob Ford a lot, and especially
partially why I took the last name.
Him being played by Casey Affleck, who's a tremendous actor, and that guy,
Absolutely.
That guy just brings so much pain and confusion to that role, like an indecision, like whether he should do, because what he really the guy idolized in real life. He idolized the James brothers, and but really what he wanted was to be noticed. He wanted to be famous, He wanted to be the guy who killed Jesse James, and the Pinkertons, they played on that. They played on Bob Ford's emotions, basically. Yeah, he was only 20 years old, and that scene, that it all comes to a head in that scene in the movie where, Jesse James gets up to adjust that picture, that crooked picture on the wall, which is documented fact. That's how it happened. It's a true event, and he gets up to adjust that picture on the wall, and Bob Ford raises his gun, puts a bullet right in the back of his head, and kills him. There's different
versions of that. Like, I don't remember. Is that the one where it's like an actual picture with like a glass frame where he sees the reflection? Because I've seen other versions where it's like one of those stitched. Like what do you call it? Like crocheted or
like a tapestry or something.
Yeah, it's something like that, and so there's no way you would see a reflection, where he's fixing that kind of picture, and so he wouldn't see it. So the whole reflection thing, might have just been for the movie.
Yeah,
but,
I think that's kind of hearsay. So I don't know.
But we do know this about it. We do know that he was fixing the picture. He did leave his fucking gun on the couch, which he normally has it with him. And so with that said, it's like he knew it was coming.
It could be speculated,
he knew it was coming, or you could speculate that, he knew it was coming because he didn't leave that shit down, and there's two of them behind him. So, and with the fucking cocking of the gun, you had to cock that gun.
Yeah, those things are loud too. Those audible clicks. Yeah, he heard that.
He knew it was coming. Yeah, he heard. So if you heard that, you think he would have fucking turned around?
Mm-hmm. In the book
he was shot in the back of the head.
Yeah, in the book that I read by that book, Shot All to Hell, the story of Jesse James and the Northfield bank robbery. They briefly talk about Jesse James's death, and they say after Robert Ford shot him, his wife, Jesse James's wife, Z, ran in the room like frantic, like what happened? Why you shot him? And they both.
Was that for Zerelda?
Yeah, Zerelda. And the Ford brothers said, we don't know what happened. The gun just went off. It was an accident. They were just telling his wife it was an accident.
Yeah.
They didn't mean to do it.
Right.
But I mean, it's a brutal scene in the movie, the assassination.
Well,
of Jesse James.
maybe that's why he called him a coward, because it's like he does that and then he lies to the wife and says it was an accident.
Yeah.
And then he goes on, he's doing plays about it, boasting and bragging.
Yeah, he does go on to be in a couple Wild West shows, and he goes on and he reenacts that moment in play after play, the moment where he killed Jesse James. And then instead of being received as a hero like he thought he would be received, of course, everybody in America is just, throwing shit at him, and they're like, you coward, you killed Jesse James, you coward, shot him in the back, right. I mean, it's a...
And it came after what? They were just sitting down eating a meal, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they were having dinner. And then they got off. What do you think they ate for dinner? What do you think their meal was? I'm trying to get you back into food.
Beaver.
God damn it. Beaver. Think they're having Beaver. That's all I ate was Beaver.
Well, go ahead and tell me how many shiny badges you give the assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford.
I would give it 10.
10 shiny badges. That is equal to Tombstone. Holy cow. He's going all the way to 10. I was going to go actually less. I'm going to give it 8. I'm going to give it 8 shiny badges. And the reason
8?
The reason is just because it's not. Listen, I've watched a lot of Western movies in my day. And
okay, you know what? I'm sorry. Can I take mine back?
Okay.
I'm going to give it a 9.
Okay.
I'm going to give it a 9. I'll explain my 9 after you.
Okay, the only thing is I've watched a ton of Western movies, and I've come to expect a few certain things from Western movies. One of those things is a lot of gunfighting and action, and that is what this movie does not have a lot of. There's not a lot of action in it. There's a lot of
story-based.
Yeah, it's basically just a lot of story. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's really, really good storytelling, and it's amazing acting, just not a lot of Wild West gunfighting and action in it like you would see in most Western movies. But the story is great. The acting is great. I give it 8. 8 shiny badges. I love the movie. I recommend it highly. So go ahead.
All right, so I'm quickly amending mine. I'm going with 9 because same reason. Not enough. Also, what I expect in an Old West movie, Old West towns.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of those either. No,
there wasn't. It was a lot of there was just a lot of things happening some farm or just a house or outside of a house or something like that. But it wasn't set I like when you watch Westworld, it's set in an Old West town. Mm-hmm. When you watch Tombstone, it's in the town. I love that. When I think of Old West, that's what I want in an Old West movie. I want that. I want the gunfighting.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of characters in it. Yeah, there's just very few characters in the movie. So.
And a lot of times the setting is the character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they actually acts as another character. Yeah,
and this just didn't have that, and I miss it. Also, it fucked with my emotions. Now I'm going to drop it down to a fucking 8 now, and I'm thinking about it, and then it's probably going to become a 7 to 6, and then I'm going to go. It's just as bad as the other. It's not. It's a great fucking movie. I'm going to stay with 9. But man, let me tell you something. It toyed with my emotions. It made me feel really weird because of a creepy fucking movie. I felt dirty. I felt like I needed to take a shower after it.
Right.
When I watched it, I was I was in a funk, dude. I was literally in a funk, and I'm like,
it's sad. It kind of makes you feel a little melancholy and sad, and just oh god,
you almost want to put a rape blanket on.
Yeah, did it really have to go down like that? Did it have to go down like that? Couldn't it have been?
Did the music affect you?
I don't recall the music very well. No, I don't remember that.
Let me tell you something. It was just that eerie fucking almost like violin fucking music that just constantly played throughout the whole fucking movie. And it was for me, it just fucked with me. It was stop. I mean, good thing they didn't do that and then go into another fucking scene where it's in that one movie where remember
I'm just so sorry.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. Hey, happy horse. What the fuck was that? Was that oh man, was that the Steve McQueen movie?
Yeah, the Steve McQueen movie, dude.
I know you have a clip of that.
I'm trying to find it already.
Yeah, I know you have the soundbite of that. A soundbite.
I got it right here. Here it is.
Okay, good.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's so ridiculous. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Sorry.
Fucking ridiculous. Oh man.
Worst transition in movie history.
Worst transition ever.
Yeah.
But going back to Robert Ford movie, God, yeah, dude, the fucking score, man, just fucked with me the whole time. It made me, like I said, it made me feel really fucking weird. I felt depressed. I felt depressed watching that movie.
It is a
I
depressing
felt really
movie. Yeah.
and it didn't make me feel good. It didn't make me like Tombstone. You're like, you could get, you're happy, you're sad. You're like, oh shit, that's an awesome line. There wasn't any lines in that movie that made me walk out going, yeah, I'm gonna recite that fucking line because that's a badass line. Like, you know, like anything that Doc Holliday says.
Yeah.
You know, you're just reciting, you're smiling, you're saying, you're making memes about it.
What Earp is my friend?
Yeah, even fucking Curly Bill or whatever the fuck. You know,
I'm what they might call the founder of the feast.
Yeah, you're like, there's quotable lines that you're walking away like, yeah, I'm gonna say this badass line at somebody. There's nothing in that movie that said except for depression and death and despair and other D words. It's like, like everything
movie.
Just makes you feel depressed and
Now
horrible.
I feel like we're running down the movie. It's a great movie. Go watch.
No. I know. You're right. It does make you sound like it's like, well, I don't want to watch that movie. No, go do it. Yeah. You're doing yourself a disservice. There's another D word. If you don't fucking watch that movie, you have to watch it. If you're into the Old West, you're into, you know, into that stuff, because it's probably a more realistic depiction of, you know, what the real West was like. But as I said before, I want my Old West movies to be romanticized and fake. Like all the gunfights that happen in all the goddamn, you know, movies, there's probably been thousands, not 8,000, but thousands of fucking, you know, Old West movies when there was only probably like 100 fucking, or 200 real Old West fights that really happened because it was such a short span. Yeah, you got to remember it's, you know, like I said, it's a short span going from what, 50s to the 80s or 50, you know, right. 1850s to the 1890s. It wasn't long at all. So there wasn't time, you know, to have all these like I was reading before, the amount of actual Old West shootouts was, you know, shockingly low, like super fucking low. Yeah. But you know, that doesn't make for a good story. Anyway, let's move on to the food, and then we'll get to what the movie is for next week. So I'm reading just real quick. I just Googled what kind of food do cowboys eat on the trail. It's actually just one of the questions that pop up. It's like, what food did the pioneers eat? What people eat in the 1800s, stuff like that. And to talk about cowboys eating out of cans, I guess there was a lot of canned stuff. Canned tomatoes, canned peaches were cowboy favorites on the range. It's like they probably got sick of beans. Cowboys ate a lot of beans, dried beef, buffalo or pork. More beans. Dried meat was called jerky, so no shit, still called jerky today. But that was a pioneer thing, how they would dry their meat out, you know. Yeah. I wonder if I wonder how often they had to eat horses. I don't know, but I've heard horses fucking delicious. Really? Yeah, I heard horses really fucking good. There was an old story where my dad and my mom, they would go to this place called Annie's, and it was like a cheesesteak place. So, you know, the cheesesteak originated in Philly. And so there was like a local place called Annie's at the time. This is when my mom and dad were kids. And you go there, you get a cheesesteak, you get like a milkshake, stuff like that. And there was always the rumor that they used horse meat. And so kids, as an asshole, like, you know, as a rib, would go in and they would be like, they would be like, can I get a cheesesteak with fried onions? And like, saddle one up to go. You know, say shit like that, you know, or whatever the stupid phrase was. And they would get pissed off or whatever, because nobody wants to, you know, fucking hear that they're using horse meat. But yeah, but apparently, here's another thing. It's like, here's another question. What did pioneers eat on the trails? Like, they took food that would not spoil along the way: beans and rice, dried meat, salted bacon, dried fruit, hardtack or crackers, cornbread, hard dried bread. Yeah, shit like that. They took flour and sugar sometimes, baked bread, biscuits, pies. So yeah, so they did it. But my thing is, so here's what they really ate. You know, we're talking about a lot of that stuff. And then what my version of, like, what I would think of a cowboy eating, and I asked you this before, and you said what? I don't remember you asking me. You said beans.
Oh, yeah, beans. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's what when you see the movies, you just think beans.
Buckaroo, what about you? When you think of a cowboy, eating along the trail, what do you think of?
Like baked beans,
Yeah.
cooked in the can over the fire.
Yeah, cooked in a can over the fire, baked beans. Yeah, so that's what I think of too. I think of like a cowboy. He's like chilling, sitting up against a tree. He's got a little campfire going, fucking cooking his beans. Has maybe a steak or some kind of meat. Maybe he just caught some kind of fucking,
Rabbit or shot a bird or something.
Yeah, rabbit, something. Right, yeah. Yeah, and he's fucking maybe somehow has potatoes. I don't know. Maybe makes a little fucking stew or something. That's what I think of and then you have that stuff versus which isn't too far. It's not too far off. And then you have like these places like Longhorn Steakhouse or like Texas Roadhouse. And you have a lot of these like cowboy themed eateries, like restaurants that that they have like curly fries and like
they'll serve lobster.
Yeah, and it's like I'm pretty sure cowboys weren't eating fucking curly fries. Like, you know what I mean? Like, give me an authentic Old West experience. Give me something. Like, give me something they were eating back then, not this bullshit. So,
when I was a kid, I always used to think, like, stupidly, curly fries came from different types of potatoes than regular fries.
Yeah, they come from curly potatoes.
Curly potatoes from?
Let me tell you something. My mom's got this best friend. Her best friend's name is Tony. She'll never listen to this, so I can make fun of her all I want. Tony is very dumb. Sweet woman, very dumb. Tony, one time, my mom liked to break Tony's balls because she knew how dumb Tony was. So they're out eating, and they got buffalo wings, and my mom goes, Tone, I didn't know buffaloes had wings. And Tony goes, just to break her balls, right? And Tony goes, they're from baby buffaloes, you idiot.
I didn't know buffaloes got that small.
Like as serious as a heart attack. That's how she is. They're from baby buffaloes, you idiot. Like, she's one of the dumbest fucking ladies. She's so sweet though. She's so sweet, but so sweet. So dumb.
Right.
I guess that's how you want your best friend to be. You want them to just be sweet. That's why old Buckaroo keeps me around. Because I'm sweet that's why I'm sweet and dumb. That's why I keep you around.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. All right. So next week, the movie that we're going to be reviewing, the Wagon Western of the Week, is a 2014 movie called The Salvation. It's on Netflix now. It stars Mads Mikkelsen, who is apparently some very famous Dutch actor that I don't know about. Mads Mikkelsen. And also stars Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who people might recognize more affectionately as Negan.
Mads Mikkelsen.
The friendly gentleman with the baseball bat on The Walking Dead. That's
also,
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
he looks like he could be, what's his name? What is his name?
Javier Bardem.
Javier Bardem. He looks like his twin fucking brother. If you ever looked at the totally looks like people, he totally looks like him. Yeah, I think that Mads dude was in Hannibal, the TV show.
Yeah, he was in Hannibal. Yeah. You know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of that foreign actor he plays in The Road. I can't remember his name though. I'm never gonna remember.
I'll look it up.
The guy who stars in The Road, he looks like him to me.
Viggo Mortensen.
Yeah, Viggo Mortensen is kind of who Mads Mikkelsen looks like to me. Maybe I just saw a weird picture of him or something, but I don't know. That's who I thought it was when I saw. But anyway, that's our Wagon Western of the Week for next week. The Salvation, 2014. It's on Netflix. Go check it out before the show.
Hey, and make sure. I don't know how you're listening to us, but if you're listening to us through Spreaker, or if you happen to stumble upon YouTube and you found us or something, check us out on SmokeWagonRadio.com. Check out our Twitter, same name. Email us at SmokeWagonRadio@gmail.com, or Spreaker, whatever. Just look up Smoke Wagon Radio and you'll find us.
All right. Sure. This is Smoke Wagon Radio. I'm 10 Killer Cole. That right over there is Oxford. Listen next week. It's the business.
Ain't that a pity?
I apologize. I forgot you were there. You may go now.
Let's talk about a money friend. Let's myself.